Hi there, this is Ryan Perry of the Loudmouth Podcast. Today I have some exciting news to share with you. The British Podcast Awards will be taking place. You can actually vote for the Loudmouth Podcast to win. Yeah, we got sort of nominated for a British Podcast Award. But yeah, no,
I'll never be happy with the fact Cardi B run rap album of the year.
We can be happy with the fact that Loudmouth might win the Listener's Choice Award. Oh, and also one last thing. Thank you to everyone who voted for us. Voting is now closed. It will be announced this weekend whether we did any good.
I can now reveal in first place with the most votes by the British public and therefore receiving the gold for this year's Listener's Choice Award. The winner is Shagged, Married, Annoyed!
And congratulations once again to Shagged, Married, Annoyed.
Hi, British Podcast Awards. Thank you so much. This is unbelievable.
Hello, welcome to Shag, Married and Annoyed with me, your host Rosie Ramsey, and my husband who currently doesn't have to carry our baby, Chris Ramsey. That's right, we're live. So today we're going to be talking about shagging as per usual on this podcast. Who's that? I don't know, someone's at the door. Hello, can I help you? Yeah, give me the fucking award. Excuse me? Give me the fucking award right now. It's not your award, okay? It's not yours, it's ours. We earned it. People voted for us. Not your shitty podcast. Okay? You know what? Fuck you.
What do you say?
Bonjour, je m'appelle Ryan et bienvenue sur le podcast et Grande Bouche. Comme toujours, je suis rejoint par mes co-hosts Luc et Alfie.
I don't think you've ever said "Hola." Is that fucking Spanish?
No, I don't know. That's what Google Translate said. Anyway, for our English viewers, that means welcome to the Loudmouth Podcast.
The international edition.
Yeah, we're
Eurovision Live.
Eurovision Live.
We're appealing to our overseas audiences today.
We're finally all here in person after many months.
It's been ages, hasn't it?
Yeah.
I can't believe how long it's been.
Finally reunited.
I think it's quite strange that we're now all finally back in one place.
Well, yeah, we're finally all caught up together again, here with our new formula, which we were able to figure out in quarantine.
Yeah.
I think those lives have helped us a lot to form the podcast.
I think they've helped us to sort of sculpt what we want to do.
Yeah.
And now we're all here in person. It's quite fantastic.
Yeah, it's very exciting.
So I can also sit back like that.
You can also sit back. Yeah, we've got our lovely new set. It changes every episode, basically. So, but I think this is the loveliest one.
I think this is the one that's going to stay the most.
This will stick, yeah.
So we've got an interesting couple of topics today.
Well, yeah.
Yes.
First of all, as always, is Biccy Chat. Should be
a lovely
good.
spread.
We've got a lovely spread arranged by myself.
Yeah, it is.
It looks like a lotus, right?
Yeah, so for Biccy Chat, yeah, show it to the camera. I got some Bickies, I got some Lotuses and Cadbury Roundies, and Alfie supplied us with some birthday cake Oreos, which I arranged into a beautiful flower. We have a little bit of a history with the biscuit known as the Roundy. I
Yeah, we
guess.
do. Do you want to tell the story?
It's not a
Not a history. It's just it's a little inside snippet, I'd call
Well,
it.
yeah, I mean, when we were filming Farmer John's Bigger Problems last year, we had Ben Salvage, Bobby Chang, who plays Tom Sanders, and
You thought I was going to do it, didn't you?
What?
Nothing.
What, the John voice?
No, you thought I was going to do something else.
Oh, okay, right. But yeah, no, we had him with us in between shooting. Oh, he's off.
I'm getting water.
You're getting water, okay. Yeah, we had him with us in between between when we were shooting, we were up in Luke's room, and I had some roundies to keep ourselves fed, because I am the caterer on set, as it seems to be.
Yeah.
And I brought some roundies, and Luke was not pleased with the fact that I was eating roundies. A roundy is actually, Alfie, why don't you get a roundy out and show the people.
Show the audience.
This is a roundy.
Yeah.
They're like a circular wafer biscuit,
Yeah.
covered in Cadbury chocolate. You get about 5 per pack. What's it like, Alfie? Is it good?
My first roundy.
It's your first roundy. What do you think?
That is bloody good, actually.
It's bloody good. It's very good. It's so good to the point where I ate the majority of the roundies I brought to set that day. We had about 2 left, but Luke nor Bobby wanted one. I don't think Alfie was here for this
No, I wasn't
day.
there for this shoot. No.
But yeah, we were upstairs, and Luke said, if you eat that roundy, I'm going to be very disappointed in you. Bobby was in the room with me, and I proceeded to eat the roundy. And Bobby, being the lovely fellow he is, snitched on me. So thank you, Bobby.
That's alright.
And when Luke found out, well, he wasn't pleased, to say the least, were you? Let you get back to your mic. You weren't pleased, were you?
I think, if anything, I just expected you to be better than that.
Be better than that.
Yeah, I'd have thought you'd have been like...
But you were taking it way too seriously.
Yeah, but I'd have thought you'd been like, well, I've had the whole pack.
I think you had one. But you were like, no, I don't want any more. It's like, well, I'm not having it go to waste. And
Yeah, but it wouldn't have gone to waste because you'd have saved it for another time.
I suppose so.
So it wouldn't have been wasteful if you were going to save it for another time.
Fair enough. It was a good shoot, that though, when we shot Bigger Problems.
It was.
Alfie came by the day after, and we shot all of his Alex scenes.
Yeah, that was a long day, that one, actually.
It felt long. Well, Luke had a random back injury.
I did, yeah. That was a weird one, actually. I think it was sort of the film gods from up above.
Well, I kept having to pull you and Bobby off of the sofa, which was fun.
Yeah, they were.
And I think the night
pull them off.
Sorry. Great.
Had to make the joke.
Great. Was that a full Ragnarok reference, or was that just
Oh, that's right.
innuendo?
Yeah. But, no, because Bobby Shang had started his sort of gym exercise at the time.
Yeah.
And
His gym account.
He made a habit of reminding everyone about that. I mean, every guy's like, "Oh mate, I really overdid it on the fucking leg press." I'm like, "Did you now?" Yeah.
Yeah, so every 5 minutes I had to pull them both off the sofa. Luke with his back injury and Bobby with his workout routine.
Yeah.
And the night before was particularly enthralling. We watched Tiptoes, which we mentioned a few episodes ago.
It was, yeah.
It was one of the worst things
we
we've
get
ever watched.
to do a review of that. I think the day that we do that, it will be the day when we're sort of...
It'd be a very special episode.
Ideas.
Yeah.
Episode 100, guys.
I've noticed you put the screen there and Alfie looks there, not the camera.
Yeah.
I know, I can't help it. That's why whenever I shoot a video, well, on the very rare occasion, I always have to flip back my screen.
Yeah.
Do you want to turn it off?
Turn it off. Where's the
the
button?
furthest button to the middle.
Furthest
No,
button
on
to
the
the
top. It's the furthest button to the middle.
This one?
It's one back from that.
This one?
No. There's a screw in the middle.
This one?
No, there's a screw in the middle at the top. No.
I don't know what you want,
There's a screw there that you're on it, and it's one back from that.
Right.
No, it's a...
What do you mean? Oh, wait, it's behind. You go do it. Honestly. Sorry, everyone, for all the audio listeners.
Now I can look at the camera.
I was watching Alfie, and he was just going... I was thinking the camera's over there.
But no, the one thing I can recommend is not to stay around Luke Brown's house in the summer, because he will have the fan on right where you sleep, and you will not get a wink.
I don't think that's very fair, to be honest.
It was not great. I mean, like, I think I woke up 3 times, and I was so tempted to turn it off.
You did turn it off at one point, and it stirred me from my sleep.
Yes.
He just wakes up like
full on exorcist.
I did last night sleep without the fan though.
Yeah.
All right, how'd you find that?
Much better, because I've noticed I've started getting a bit zombified. Like I will stay in bed most of the morning because of the fan. Cause
you had me to wake you up
weird
this morning.
trance.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, maybe.
Well, I've got my
Give it a
theory
break.
test tomorrow morning at 8 a.m.
Oh, it's tomorrow.
It's tomorrow, the big day.
That's right. It's the 31st, isn't it?
It's a big day, yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna grab a Bicky.
I think I'm ready. If I fail, it will be funny. Not for me, but for everyone else who knows me.
Yes. I'm sure the Wills will have a go.
Of course they will.
Yeah.
Um,
Actually, Will Shadwell cannot assault about failing
Well,
the driving test.
Yeah, I've heard the amount of times, and
that is quite a few times, yeah.
it's quite a few, yeah. But the various misadventures.
Hopefully I do pass it first time. So I got that tomorrow, and then obviously we can progress and hopefully take a driving lesson at some point.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
But
Wait,
yeah.
a driving lesson or a driving test?
Sorry, well, lesson and test, because I would like to take the real test very soon.
Nice.
So
Very
hopefully,
nice.
yeah.
And Fredo, you recently got a car.
Yeah. I originally got a Nissan Micra.
Do you want to tell us about the shag wagon?
The shag wagon, yeah.
No, don't say that. Yes, I recently got a Nissan Micra, like Luke's, except mine's a three-wheel version, and it had seen better days, so it all turned out Luke was there with his dad, and we bought them off some travellers. I think this family was travellers, wasn't it?
I don't think that's what you can call them.
They were traders. I don't know.
Rogue traders.
Travelling traders.
See, I heard that apparently. Christ, I have to cut this out, but I heard that apparently, gypsy was an offensive term.
Apparently, but some of them like being called gypsies. I don't know. I have.
The point that they were gypsies.
We're leaving this in, by the way.
Yeah, I get it. It's
The
all
point
right.
that they were gypsies isn't the point. It was just they were gypsy, and then
Yeah.
So we bought this car. I think it's about £300, so it's a pretty good deal. But it was like a lot of rust and a lot of interesting paintwork.
Yeah, it was.
So-
Well,
it was
the
a
interior
bit
was
shitty.
And
the interior was a bit of a mess, wasn't
The
it?
interior, I think they'd use it as their litter bin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, just filters and Rizzlers and just loads of battery everywhere. I think
A lot of Rizzlers.
Yeah.
I think just said it all.
It was
really.
also like near the pedal. I think it was near the clutch. There was just a load of pebbles.
Oh, right.
I don't know. They thought, they went to Eastbourne and thought, I really want a token to remember this every time I'm driving, so I'll just take part of the beach with me.
Yeah.
So that was a lot of fun, just emptying that out. So for the past few days, I've literally, me and my mum and dad have been sanding down all the paint and rust from the
Your
car.
dad's favourite job.
I know. We've recently just started working on the actual paint.
All right.
So we've almost finished. It's a little bit patchy at the minute, but we haven't buffed it out and things like that. So with any luck, I'll hopefully be on the road because I need to learn how to drive.
Yes.
And if anyone knows Alfie, you know he's dyspraxic, but that's not going to stop him.
Actually, you know what? From the time I have been in a car, I don't think I'm that bad for a beginner.
Yeah.
And this isn't just like a Luke beginner. This is a real beginner. Like I've never sat in a driver's seat before. I don't think I'm that bad. Like I've stalled it plenty of times, but so does everyone.
It's a natural thing.
And you get used to it over time. Like I sort of, every like the first day I got out, I literally couldn't pull it out, and then sort of
You couldn't pull it out.
Oh,
You know, now you're talking about learning to drive. It reminds me of that scene in HAINE where they're trying to jump the car and none of them know how to drive.
oh yeah,
Oh.
good segue. Yeah.
Shall we get into LaHaine?
I think we should sort of slowly.
All right.
progress into
Okay.
it now.
Well, let's just do it. Okay. So yeah, today's film is LaHaine, a film from 1995, French film, nonetheless, black and white, about three guys who have an interesting day in the ghetto side of Paris and in the inner city. Sorry, I stuttered a bit there.
Yeah.
And a lot of mad things happen. There's a gun. There's all sorts.
Well,
There's a car.
Do you want to give it the rundown?
French people.
Give it the rundown. I mean,
Yeah, give the plot rundown.
yeah, that's mostly it. So you got three guys. You got Vince, who's Jewish. You've got what's the other guy's name? The Arabic guy. Saeed. You've got the Arabic guy Saeed, and you've got Hubert, a black guy. They're all from this very rough ghetto in France, Paris. And And yeah, it's following the aftermath of a riot that happened the previous night, and it's them going about their day, but Vince happens to have a gun, and it's about what happens. There's a guy called Abdul as well who's in hospital, but he's also been arrested because he...
Well, Vince said, and this is what I find really interesting, he said, well, if Abdul dies, then I'm going to shoot as he puts it, pig police officer.
Police officers.
That's
sort of
that's the big
to
sort
break
of...
it, even though it's small in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah,
it was a big thing to get back at them.
Well, if you think about it, really, nothing happens in the film for the good majority of it.
This is the thing. I was sat there throughout the whole thing going, when is the climax coming?
Yeah.
And it sort of takes you by surprise. Yeah.
I was thinking, because I was watching this film and I was thinking, okay, like it's a pretty slow start.
Well, I enjoyed it though.
I enjoyed it. I think
Shall we say as well? Spoilers.
Spoiler chat. So when the ending, I was like, oh wow, that just kind of came out of nowhere in a way. Like it really just snowballed quite quickly at the end.
Yeah.
Film with I think we'd all agree quite a slow sort of start and middle.
Sure. Yeah.
I kind of felt like it. You might disagree with me on this one, but I felt like, again, with the sort of slow start, I feel like it lacked a bit of narrative push. Like, if that makes any sense.
Okay.
Like a sort of...
I think that's sort of the point, though, because their lives have little to no routine. Like, they'll go over, talk to some kid about a game show, and then they'll go to this abandoned building where people will be street dancing. I think that's sort of the point, to just show how...
I liked it, how sort of just... It's about capturing a time in a moment with one singular sort of moment.
Yeah, of course.
And they do it so well. It's incorporating everything that they want to represent. Because I watched an interview with the guy that plays Vince.
Yeah.
And he said at the time we were young, angry teenagers who wanted back at the system, and he just said, and that was what people wanted to see at the time.
Yeah.
That was what, because he said he used to just stick a cap on, sneak into the cinema and just sit there and watch people smoke joints and and fucking love the film.
Yeah.
They absolutely loved it. They thought it was the best thing since Christmas.
Well, because I also saw a news report, it's a French thing, about, like, I think it was the 20th anniversary of the film, so, like, back in 2015. They were doing, like, street viewings of the film in, like, the same, like, ghettos where it was shot, and there was, like, big outcry from, like, the councils there and stuff, and they weren't having it, but the people loved it.
I think they were a bit worried that it was going to start something.
Yeah, exactly, like a second wave of it. I mean, this couldn't be a perfectly more well-timed watch for it.
I think I was really surprised. So this was made in the sort of 90s or 80s?
Yeah, 95.
95. This was made in 95, and it was redone. So it was re-edited in some aspects in sort of 2014, was it?
So yeah, no, they did a remastered version in 2014, and then there's a new one coming out this year from BFI for the 25th.
So they remastered it, and I think so. The one we watched was a remastered version.
I think so.
Yeah, and it looks stellar.
It's gorgeous.
It looks absolutely, and I'm a film buff, so I like what things look like. And I was just watching it, going, "Oh my fucking god, this is gorgeous." Yeah. You've got dolly zooms.
Yeah, there's some of those.
Yeah,
really good.
you've got dolly zooms. You've got what was the other one which I saw and I was like, fuck off.
The mirror shot. The
mirror shot's beautiful.
Yeah.
Another one which was really notable. Oh, I can't remember which one it was.
There's that. I don't know whether it has anything to do with the camera technique, but there's that one shot where Vince is out with those two other guys he knows. And
yes, that was what I was going to talk about. So
at the letterbox.
It's not just that; it's the parallel. There's a specific word for it. It's where two things are in focus within the same shot. But what they did was they've actually crossed it over. They've gone against what it normally is, because normally you do that when the character is in the foreground and then the background's also in focus. Yeah. But there's a bit of depth between the two. Mm-hmm. So they did it so that basically you could see Vince and you could see what he was looking at. So they sort of flipped it the other way around, which wouldn't realistically work with the way that you do it, because you do it with a specific lens with 2 shifted bits of glass.
Right.
It's very interesting.
They did it so it was just the other way around, so you could see what he was seeing and how he reacted to it.
That shot's fantastic, and like there's a lot of good, it sounds strange, but facial acting from like the actors, because like there is like a large amount of dialogue, but a lot of it is just reactionary, the acting. But one of the best dialogue scenes in the whole film, I think, I can't quite wrap my head around the analogy just yet, but it's when they're in the bathroom and there's the little old man who comes out and tells them the analogy of the guy
I think
at the train in World War II.
I think on a second watch you would know.
It would make more sense.
It would make more sense.
I guess it kind of thought. Well, the one I sort of thought, because I was thinking, there's a clear sort of there's some purpose behind this sort of scene. And I was thinking that maybe the purpose about it was because the story goes is that he was pulling up his trousers, but also trying to catch the train.
Yeah.
Maybe it was talking about how we sort of, how we sort of see in the end of the film, like Hubert's talking to, I think it's Vince. It's all going, it's like, this life is just kind of like falling off a skyscraper or something.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the analogy.
Okay,
yeah.
Now you're okay. I think it's like that. It's like saying every time you try and take a leap and move forward, if you just keep pulling up your pants and not focusing where you're going, you're not going to go anywhere.
That's true.
And
yeah.
then, so maybe it could be like these sort of characters, because they're not really doing anything in their lives. They also, they don't even know how to drive.
Well,
like,
it was it's a sort of coming of age film, isn't it?
I'd say so. Yeah. It's interesting because you bring up like a cycle sort of thing, and the film also, the first character we see is Saeed, as he's about to put the graffiti on the police cars, and it also ends on him watching the shootout between the police officer and Hubert. So I don't know, I think there's something there.
Which I say I did see coming.
Yeah.
I knew that Hubert would be the one that would actually have the balls to do it.
Well, yeah, because like Hubert's definitely got some pent up aggression, like being black, and he's obviously mistreated by his friends as well as the police.
Yeah, well, Vince.
we see in his room there's like tons of like black icons, things like that. He's sort of quite. I think he's probably.
Well, from the beginning, he thought Vince burned down his gym, didn't he?
Yeah. Well, because Vince idolizes people like Travis Bickle out of Taxi Driver. He does the "you talking to me" thing in the mirror. And like he's obviously driven by aggression and violence, pointing gun fingers like at police officers. So yeah, I think he definitely takes from more violent stuff. And you've got Saeed, who's sort of in the middle, where he has like violent outlooks, but he also has
He's a lot more innocent. He's the one that knows everyone.
Yeah. And what I noticed is this clever bit of sort of shot composition is in the bathroom. They kind of had Saeed in the middle on the phone or something, and then they had Hubert on one side with the light on, and then they had Vince in the other side with the light off.
That was
it. Kind of like, if you follow Hubert, he's a bit more switched on, and Vince is sort of going down. It's like
he's going down a dark path.
It's like,
and then you've got
clever little.
You got Saeed in the middle.
Isn't it?
Yeah. What did you guys also think of the ticking time aspect of it? Like each scene is an hour of the day.
I really appreciate that. I thought it's a really nice way of breaking up the narrative and telling the story in such a way that it's consumable.
Yeah, definitely.
It also kind of gives them more of a. It kind of sits in like when you're watching it. Oh, this is just happening in one day. Like at different times, it's sort of going. It sort of makes you appreciate more the kind of weird life that they have. And they lead, like, they're literally up all the time.
Yeah.
No rest.
Just doing like moving around the city, doing strange sort of
they're
things,
just there.
People.
What did you guys think of Asterix?
Asterix,
because I thought
the cokehead.
The cokehead. I thought Luke would definitely have an opinion on him.
Yeah, I thought he did make me chuckle, and I thought. That's I liked his character because it was in my eyes I saw him as he's trying to taunt. Well,
because he does the Russian roulette thing with Vince.
Well, he's trying to rile Vince up because he knows what buttons to push with him because he's a sort of young, pent up, angry lad.
Do you reckon that Asterix sort of looks at Vince like a younger version of himself?
I'd say
maybe
so.
He'd see because they're both quite similar, even in the way they look. Like they're both quite skinheads. They're both quite white and a bit mad. He's on the coke.
Yeah.
But you know, so maybe he sort of looks at this guy and thinks, "Oh, I know this kind of person. I could sort of play him up like I would." Yeah.
Well, when they're walking back down the stairs and then they're about to, and he shows Vince the 2 bullets, it's almost as if like Vince isn't angry about it. He's impressed. Yeah. So I think he'd definitely take that from him. There's also some very strange like hallucination stuff. Like obviously there's the bit where he's standing outside imagining him shooting the police officer who goes through the window. The cow, and there's the bit where he's dancing in the it looked like the gym. I'm pretty sure it was the burnt down gym, but he was like dancing in there when he was at home. So there are some odd moments of like peace, I guess. I've got no clue what the cow is meant to symbolise as of yet.
I think when I was watching it, I could see the cow as being sort of it was a symbol of just sort of how chaotic it was. Yeah. I think the cow is real, personally. Okay. I do think it's real. But at the same time, I also think it's a hallucination. I think he's seeing it because I don't know, he's in such a way that everything's stirred up that he's starting to see things.
Yeah, I'd say so. Also there's the Nikla Police DJ scene.
Beautiful scene.
I was gonna ask you boys about that.
I have to say it was the execution was amazing.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
It was amazing. The shot where it just comes out of the window and flies across the estate. Because drones weren't a thing back then.
No, drones wouldn't have been
so they'd have had to have got a helicopter and fly it through this estate.
Yeah. Well, and also the budget was like I think 2 million. So even then they wouldn't have had the budget for like some sort of drone apparatus. It must have been a plane or whatever. But yeah, not a plane, helicopter.
Yeah.
Drive a 747 for a French ghetto.
It was a well executed, well filmed, well made, great,
well acted.
It was just altogether. It was a solid, good film.
Yeah.
And that's why I gave it 5 stars.
5 stars. Yeah, I gave it 5 out of 5 as well. I think it's one I'm gonna look forward to rewatching a lot.
Yeah, I think it's definitely worth a rewatch.
As a non-English language film and doing film studies at GCSE and having to study non-English language films, I would have much. This film should be a film studies non-English language film purely because of the representations of what was happening at the time
and different cultures
as
well.
And all these things that are happening at the time, because when you do film studies you do something like Sotzi or Slumdog Millionaire. I feel like this is more relevant in the fact that it's a great piece of cinema. It's incredibly well made for the technical aspects. There's great representation of minorities and different hierarchies, and it's just altogether it represents more than just what we see from the outside. And I think that's why it's such a good film, because it's so accessible to everyone.
It's fantastic,
and it's free on YouTube.
It's on YouTube.
Which I kind of felt bad, like I said I probably should have bought this, but
well, I think they've got it up there for the moment because obviously it's very relevant. I think it was uploaded like when I checked like 2 months ago as to when the Black Lives Matter protest started. So I think it was, for that reason. So I don't know how much longer it's going to be up for, but there is the remaster coming out in October.
What are you going to give it, Alfie?
I think I'm going to give it a 5 because you switched me onto it more actually, and it's way better when you discuss it because you can kind of,
indulge
your ideas and indulge in it a bit more. I'd say if I had any critique, I've already said a bit of a slow start, but I suppose that's kind of the nature of the film.
Sure, yeah.
Nature of the beast. I don't know. I really liked it. I think there was a lot of great acting, a lot of great characters, a lot of great, shot composition, all the sort of stuff we've already said. Really, I think it's worth 5 out of 5.
5 out of 5. Well, there you go. 5 out of 5 from all of us. Yeah. General consensus from Loudmouth. Watch this film. It's free, for goodness sake.
If you support ACAB, you'll like this.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's like a perfect sort of protest film in that respect.
Yeah, it's very political, and it sort of touches on a lot of different stuff, doesn't it? Because it sort of touches about sort of poverty. It also talks about racism and sort of police brutality, and it also talks about drug abuse and things like that. There's a lot
There's so much in there, yeah.
And a lot to unpack. And again, like I would recommend to the viewers at home, watching it with a group of friends, or like watching it and go, like a group of friends all watch it and then come back and talk about it like a book club. Because I think that's the best way to experience it.
Yeah.
It's just, there's a lot there.
From a lot of different opinions as well.
As well.
Because obviously people take different things from it.
Yeah, exactly.
And also, I think the other thing that we didn't mention a minute ago is the sort of representation of the police.
Yeah, of course.
I really enjoyed the sort of that they were, because it was how it was. They were basically abusing people, and they could get away with it because it was sort of like a free. They were the biggest gangsters.
Yeah, they had the most control.
They were the biggest gang.
Yeah, exactly.
And they could go up to someone and say, "You can't really be up here." It's like, we're not doing anything wrong. It's my bloody town, isn't it? You can.
And
do
it's
that.
as soon as Vince pulls out that gun that they instantly turn into cowards. It's insane. Lose all their power.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Did we have an album for this week?
We did. Did you forget to listen to it?
What was it?
It was the Haroumi Hosono album.
I do apologise.
That's all right.
I had a listen.
We've had a listen.
I listened yesterday and I listened today whilst I was working out, and it's a strange workout choice. I'm not gonna be funny. I'm not, I've noticed.
Get your gains on.
Whenever I lift like a weight above my head, I do De Niro face. So
you're doing the Vince.
Yeah, but it's slightly like I don't know. It's quite a good album.
Yeah, it's pretty chill.
It's a pretty chill album.
Yeah.
You know, it's like a sort of foreign language Mac DeMarco in a way.
Pretty much. That is what it is.
Yeah, it's got some good songs. I couldn't tell you a single one of them because
there's like,
first of all, they're all in a different language. So to speak. Second of all, I just had it on in the background.
Yeah.
But the overall vibe was quite.
It's
nice.
a vibe.
Yeah,
it's a vibe. I think there's like 2 tracks that have English titles.
Rockabye Baby.
Rockabye Baby and Party, I think, is one.
Let me have a look.
But
that's it.
They're all pretty good. I think I just sort of have them in my head. There's like track 7 is really good. The final track, not the interlude.
I definitely think if you like your sort of
your Mac
DeMarco Tame Impala type thing, and you also really like I don't know, really you like folk, because it is a folk album. I don't know. I think it's just worth a listen, really. Yeah. If you like that sort of thing,
chill time.
If you're a Led Zeppelin, not Led Zeppelin. If you're an AC/DC fan, this might not rock
your boat. Yeah.
But for me, I am a sort of Mac DeMarco fan, so I quite like this in this state. I also did get around to listening to This Is Happening.
Oh,
which I was
nice!
a really big fan of.
Yeah.
I really like that album.
Excellent.
I'm definitely going to listen to more LCDC.
Yeah. Definitely Sound of Silver.
Well, we were going to ask you about this.
Yeah.
We
You're right there.
we didn't get a chance to ask you last week.
Yeah. Now we've got the note.
Well, I hadn't really listened to it that much. But I did have a listen. Really liked it.
Nice.
I think it was like
We've got you on the hype train now.
I'm on the hype train. I'm gonna go home today and chuck some more. I'm gonna probably do I can't remember the name of the album, but it's got New York on it.
Oh right, Sound of Silver.
Yeah. Because I like that song.
That's a good one. I'm gonna have a roundy.
Do you need that?
I knew it was coming.
I can see why you ate them all.
Yeah. Airy.
You start to look like one.
I'll have you know, I lost a bit of weight during the lockdown, but
have we got an album for next week?
It's Luke's turn.
Is it?
Yeah, you want to pick something?
I will pick something. Let me have a look.
Oh, what's he gonna pick?
Have we got a film as well, actually?
Oh yeah.
I was going to ask you this, Ryan, because I didn't think you'd organise one.
Well, I shall find a film quickly. Insert a cut here if you want.
Yeah,
I don't know.
We'll just be on our phones.
We'll switch to our phones for a minute.
But no,
Okay. Letterboxd.
Do something on your watch list so we haven't seen it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will make sure. Alright. Something on my watch list I have not seen.
I think I'm going to keep the French theme, actually, for this album.
Oh, really? Okay. We can't get away from France. Okay, what we got? I need to make sure it's on a... Okay, alright. Here's one I haven't seen all the way through yet. So
I know it's.
well, what do you think it is?
I can't remember the name. You have to say it, and I'll probably be like, yeah.
Oh, okay. Synecdoche, New York.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I really wanted to watch that film. Yeah.
So it's on Amazon Prime. It's by Charlie Kaufman, who made Being John Malkovich, Adaptation, Anomalisa, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. All 5
Weird
out of 5 movies. Weird movies,
he
but
likes his weird sort of
he
stuff.
likes his weird stuff. He's got a new film coming out in September on Netflix, actually, which will be good. So, yeah, one I haven't seen yet.
I've been meaning to watch Synagogue New York.
Yeah.
Actually, I really want to watch that one.
So yeah,
Synagogue.
No, what's it?
Synecdoche. It's a made-up word anyway.
Yeah.
So
Synagogue.
well, I've seen interviews where people said they watched it at the film festival where it came out, Cannes,
Right.
and like they didn't know how to pronounce it before they went in.
Right.
But yeah, no. Synecdoche, New York. It's on Amazon Prime. It's got Philip Seymour Hoffman. He's a playwright. He's a little bit sad. Hopefully he gets better. And yeah, that's. I'm looking forward to that. That'll be good.
So next week's album is. It's an interesting one actually because.
So you said it was French as well.
It is French. So the group is French. It's the group Air.
All right.
Okay.
They're a French group. They've been around for a couple of years now.
Mm-hmm.
And they make sort of electronic, just sort of synthy. It's just background music, really. It's not,
okay.
Well, it's not background music, but there is vocals. But it's very. The best way to describe it is it's a bit like a French Goldfrapp.
Oh yeah. I remember you saying to me. Yeah.
Yeah. So the album is Moon Safari by Air, with a lovely La de la Femme de la Femme. La Femme d'Argent and Sexy Boy, and then All I Need, and there's loads of great ones in here.
All I Need, what by Radiohead? Whoa!
There's just some really nice tracks in here. It's just a great background album.
Nice.
So yeah, keeping on with the French theme.
That's good.
Excellent.
Yeah. Next time we'll do Discovery and sort of have the triple.
Yeah.
Fair, won't we?
Yeah, exactly.
All
right.
So, yeah, I think as well. Going back onto that French film, is there another? I must say, like my French music taste hasn't really gone beyond sort of Daft Punk, really, hasn't it?
I suppose, like, yeah, French people don't get a lot of praise
for their music and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I can just name artists that do English language stuff that are French.
I mean, when I went to France, a lot of the music played was English music.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
I mean, I appreciate a lot of French music.
We'd have to ask Benjamin Gozel, previous Loudmouth guest on this.
I like a lot of the classic stuff actually.
Edith
Piaf.
Aline. Banger.
Well, it's alright.
You were playing it all the time when we had our socially distant walk.
I also listen to. I've got quite a few French artists in my library, and I think it's because the French language sounds so beautiful. It's like it's such a nice.
I probably butchered it in the intro.
Especially in the HAINE, there's a lot of beautiful sort of dialects.
You listen to it, it's like I'm not going to impersonate it because I'll do absolutely butcher it.
But you ever seen La Haine?
But you get this sort of this. It's a really nice sound, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree.
Sure. It's almost poetic.
Mm-hmm. Could watch Ratatouille all day.
Yeah, love Ratatouille.
Love Ratatouille. It's fucking good. Yeah. Where are we now? Shall we carry on with a Biccy Chat? Just a closer Biccy Chat?
Yeah, I think we should close the Biccy Chat. It's nice. I think it's nice to be back in person doing this.
Yeah, exactly.
There's certainly a dynamic.
There's a different.
On the.
Yeah, there's a difference between sitting on like a weird portrait phone size screen.
We're in our little boxes.
I miss the spinning bar.
Yeah. Maybe one day. If it gets to if there's any time we can't do an in-person one, then we might do a live.
Yeah.
But for now we're back to usual, which is nice.
And hopefully we'll be able to keep this up.
Yeah, we've got our lovely set. I'm sure there'll be more things added to it.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that's a common word of yours. This is a lovely set.
Our lovely set. I mean, our set is quite nice.
Let's see next week if this changes at all.
Yeah.
Hopefully she'll be able to say the same, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'd like one of these things because if I sit back, the mic completely covers my face.
Yeah.
If I lean forward, I will be a cripple by this.
We'll drill you a hole.
I know. I think I do.
Yeah, we'll drill you a hole in the table.
I've got a job of sorts coming. So I've somehow ended up in the village Facebook.
Wonderful.
I'm ended up working for this waste paper company.
Waste paper.
Yeah, so we basically go to offices and they've got those massive boxes of, well, not massive, but like big boxes of cardboard, like cardboard boxes full of waste paper. Just take it down and put it in the dump or something like that, or something else. Like, you know, it's a pretty good job to be honest.
I think you've been looking for a job for a long time.
I have been looking for a job for a very, very long time.
I mean, we've discussed a few of your previous jobs on the podcast. The cheese factory.
Which you didn't believe.
I didn't believe it at first. No.
No, if I could have taken photos, I would have. But it just looked like a sort of farm. It was a farm. So
it was a farm.
Really interesting.
I was picturing like a depressing conveyor belt. You just like some sort of wrapping weird, cheese.
What's it called? 19. What's his face? The guy who wrote Animal Farm.
Oh, George Orwell.
Some sort of really depressing Orwell. Like,
yeah.
Factory. No, it's not like that. It's basically, I call it a factory. It was more like a farm, really.
Right.
It was like separated with a couple of different buildings. And there was called the make room, which looked like a lab, basically, with a big, metal basins in it, and the wrapping room, which was just, there's a sort of, there's turntables in there. It's great fun.
Yeah.
It's basically just table boxes.
OJRP.
It's very boring. Yeah. And there's big cheese vaults that they kept with the
cheese vault.
There's like a sort of big metal room where they kept all the softs in. So
nice.
It has been
stunk.
I can imagine.
It has been a while since you've been back on the job.
But that was in December.
Yeah.
And it is now August. Well, no, we're in
July. It'll soon be August.
So it's now July. Yeah. So it's been a while.
Yeah.
Especially with COVID, it hasn't helped.
And yourself, Ryan, you're looking for a job at the moment, aren't you?
Well, apparently, yes.
Well, no, not apparently. You are.
I am.
You're an 18-year-old child.
I am.
Not
Yes.
even a child.
18-year-old
You're supposed
child.
to be an adult now.
Yes, I am.
And you're looking for a job.
I am looking for a job. Hit me up.
Is there anywhere you would like?
Here's
to
my
work?
CV. No.
Is there anywhere you would like to work?
Oh well, a dream job or just like in particular?
No, like dream, like part-time, like student job, not like.
Oh
a dream
right,
job
okay.
Because,
I don't know, HMV, because it's like
cool.
That would be your street.
Yeah.
Oh,
hit up HMV.
Yeah.
No, you'd be like, so I'll be scrolling through the albums. You'll be like, what are you gonna pick, huh?
Come on.
That's
no, not that, not that.
Are you stupid? That is
Tiptoes. Are you serious? Big Mama's House trilogy.
I think you should apply for a job at HMV.
Yeah, why not? HMV.
I mean, I didn't think about that one. I mean, it's either HMV or Kex.
I'm not going to Kex.
I applied for a job there.
What, Kex or HMV?
Kex.
Oh.
I know, and then suddenly Almighty Ocean just started flying out. But
that's cracking. Kex really fucking stinks. It's so fucking smelly. Yeah.
I've never been in Kex.
Kex is like...
Sorry, CEX.
CEX. Well, in the adverts they call it sex.
I
Like,
know,
they
it's
straight
really
up call
weird.
it sex. Yeah, it's not the nicest place. For those who aren't from England, CEX, sex, Kex is...
It's like a second-hand
It's like...
electronics, DVDs, media.
Yeah, it's like the adoption centre for like DVDs and games.
you can get like actual tech. Like I saw a Focusrite audio interface in the one in Eastbourne, which is going for like a pretty good deal actually.
Yeah.
So, and you get like I saw a Nintendo 64 and sort of PlayStation game.
Yeah, you can get like a Little Britain DVD for like 5p in there, like legit.
Yeah, the 50p aisle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
you know what? Like
I've raided a Kex in my time.
Yeah,
so...
if you need the film.
Yeah, me and the boys, we went down there last month. Fucking drove a car through the doors.
That's my the HAINE remake, raiding the Kex.
Yeah, just right.
Yeah.
Give me all your DVDs. Okay, not all of them.
Not all of them. Some of them are really shit.
I think yours would more be the deli counter at Waitrose.
But yeah, no.
There's actually like adult entertainment in Kex.
There is,
yeah. I was like in the Eastbourne one. I was like, that's like it's like.
Oh, that's
big
porn.
Jugs and alligators.
Yeah.
That's porn. That,
it's legit
you don't
porn.
really hide it either. Like it's just, All you have to do is just go. Why do I know this? But just go downstairs. It's like right at the end of the yard.
Yeah, exactly.
That's under
and there's a lot of kids just running around Keck, so I can imagine one of them grabbing it off the shelf.
What's this, Mummy?
Yeah, what's this? But it's a
go
mess.
Watch Someone's Taking Jar. It's not allowed to watch that. Why not?
Well, they have like really racy cartoons drawn onto like the floor and shit. Like there'll be one where a robot's like, "Oh, I'm the horny robot," or whatever. Like,
They're
they've
pretty
got
late.
it drawn on the ground.
Yeah,
It's like C-3PO with like a boner or some shit. It's like
They're pretty laid back in there though. Like they will sell anyone anything.
It's
No,
true.
they won't. They really will not. I remember trying to buy something, and because I wasn't 15 at the time, or I didn't have ID, they were like,
Oh, really?
I can't buy that. Just hell, that's
Well, I've sold stuff to them in there
thought it was
before.
like, oh, you know, whatever. It's just a film, but
Yeah.
they're really strict about it.
I've sold stuff to them in there before, like old games consoles.
Yeah.
When I needed a bit of money, and like if there's the tiniest scratch or something like just is a little bit like misplaced, like a button is just a little bit loose, they'll be like, no, can't take it, can't take it.
And if it was brand new, they'd already undersell it.
Yeah.
Wouldn't they?
So that's Kex. It's a pretty filthy place.
I'm never getting a job there.
No, this has just prevented our chance of getting a job at Kex. But HMV, we like you guys.
They almost liquidised, didn't they?
They did.
They look almost liquidised every year.
Yeah, but then they pull it back in with a good old sale, and they bring it in. So shout out to HMV.
I don't know how they're still running.
Well, like I'm kind of
Fine,
lucky that the one near me never shut down. Maybe it's just me funding them the money, but
Yeah, well, there's still a Blockbuster in America. One left.
there's one left. Yeah.
You're paying for all their minimum wage.
Yeah, exactly. I'm pretty sure there was a Blockbuster in Ashford.
There was.
Yeah. And that was there for
In
like
the
ages.
the building was just left abandoned.
The building
for
was
ages.
left, and now it's turned into a Casper's ice cream parlour.
Here's the thing. It's
Don't
always,
go to Casper's
it's always
because you will
Casper's
get
or it's
the
creams.
shits. The shits.
Casper's or it's creams.
Casper's, I haven't heard of Casper's.
Casper's is like a dessert place.
Right, like cream.
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically. And you'd think like a dessert, you know, you wouldn't get that bad a thing. It's not like a curry,
Taco Bell.
yeah, or Taco Bell as you've mentioned before. But Casper's is fucking bad. Like I went there, it was like after my niece's birthday, and we went in there. And the morning after, I was just on the toilet for about 30 minutes. Like,
Oh, that's why I didn't pick up the phone.
yeah, exactly. I don't know what Casper's are putting in there, so sort it out, Casper's. Like,
Did you... Right. Was it something to do with the choco laxative swirl that you
that.
got?
Well, you can get them, can't you? You can get like chocolate bar laxatives.
Yeah.
That's like for people who are like too afraid to swallow.
I
the
used
pill.
to take laxatives.
Okay.
Whoa, okay. Welcome back to our podcast, everyone.
That's
You're
a
in
big
truth
drop.
bombs. Why did you used to take laxatives?
Because I used to have difficulties shitting.
All right. Okay.
Fun fact.
Oh.
Yeah, I used to take sachets.
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 Sachets. Sachets. It's
There
like
you
when I
are.
used to say chassis.
Chassis.
I used to go sachet. But it reminds me of a time when... So I used to have to take these things every night.
Mm-hmm.
These sachets. Don't laugh.
It's too hard not to.
And one night my sister was like, "Don't get me a drink, Luke." I was like, "All right then." So I went, and these are... I'm not going to be funny. These are prescribed laxatives, right? And if anyone knows anything about prescribed drugs, they're meant for you and no one else.
Yeah.
So I was like, "I'll get you a fucking drink."
Luke!
So I went in the kitchen. I made my drink,
Yeah.
poured my sachet into my drink, and then opened another one and poured it into my sister's drink, swirled it, and then I was like, "There you go."
Oh my god, you're evil.
She drank it.
And she got the shit.
Yeah,
That's evil, man.
I was a horrible little shit.
How old were you?
10.
Fucking hell.
Oh,
To be
my
honest,
God.
like a younger Luke sounds worse like than current Luke in like
Yeah.
mischievousness.
Yeah, I mean, my sister's got scars. I was a horrible brother.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, you're also completely untrustworthy by the sounds of things. I've heard tales of the treehouse from Alfie. Luke's treehouse with cannons.
I was an interesting
No,
kid.
but that's part of the blame is on myself, because if you told me if you told me you're an alien, I'd believe it. Like I was so gullible.
Yeah.
Because I was like like an 8-year-old with like a very quite vivid imagination.
Yeah.
So I just would believe anything, and Luke would take advantage of that, of my childhood innocence.
Yes.
And tell me, yeah, I've got a treehouse with cannons, but we're not allowed to fire it because we broke someone's
Window. Yeah. And there was the other thing. There was something to do with chocolate. I can't remember what.
When I was younger, I was a compulsive liar.
Well, I gathered that.
And Alfie was always falling victim to my stories.
Yes.
In my later years, I realised they turned less into lies and more into just like sort of stories that I just made up.
Yeah.
But we all knew it was made up.
Sure.
But we kind of enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Another thing you used to always do to me was when you got a little bit older, and this got really annoying.
A little bit older.
Sort of like year 4, year 5. He just used to go to me. We'd be sitting down at lunch, and he'd just go, "What would you do if your parents didn't love you and they left you on a desert island to die?" And like every hour there was a new scenario. So what would you do if you fell out the car and then you hit along the road and your parents drove off without picking you up? Or
What could you do? What could you do
if you fell out of a plane? I was like, die! What?
You used to get very panicky about it though. You used to be like,
it would be
They were
like-
really dark
Yeah,
scenarios.
because I'd be like, oh, I don't know, I'll just wait for them to come here. But they won't, because they don't love you. You die there. And I'd be like, I don't want to die. But you would. It's like every hour would be like a new what would you do scenario. And it used to get so annoying. Because I'd have like 7 days a week of this.
Yeah.
that makes sense why I didn't want to see me on the weekend.
Because you just sit down and be like we're playing Lego saying, what would you do? That's not, yeah.
I mean, I've had a fair share of Luke lies to me before. I mean, one of them involving Alfie when I first met him. I think it was when the first time we came round. I think the first time I came round to you was when we shot WTF.
Yeah.
And I came in and I was looking for somewhere to charge my phone. And Luke said, "Oh, use Alfie's brother's room," which I think was your spare room. Like, I was like, "Oh, Alfie has a brother. I didn't know that." And you just told me, he's like, "Yeah, he's in uni at the moment. He really likes film too, right?" It was like this big, massive, compulsive lie.
Well, that's because I lied to him earlier about having one.
Oh, right.
When we were kids, my one act of revenge, I like to think of it as, like, the one thing I got back, right, was there's a picture of me and my cousin, like when we're sort of the same age. So
Start
like
naked in the bath.
Yeah, start naked in the bath, you know.
Yeah.
And it was like, "Who's that?" And I said, "That's my longest brother." And he believed it because he never met my cousin, so he believed it for several years.
Yeah, and I was like, "My God, we've got to do something. We have to find him." And you were like, "No, it's too late."
and then what? When you met his cousin, were you like,
No,
you found him?
I just let it slip one day, like years later. I was like, "Oh, it's like, you know, that old picture of me and my cousin in the bus." Like, wait, cousin?
I was livid. I was angry.
Yeah.
I didn't even notice it.
Some cracking stories out there.
I think after many years, you start to accumulate so many story times.
I mean, but it becomes a talent, really. Like,
it's the line that sort of.
No, it's not lying.
No, but you know what I mean, like the sort of.
The later,
your little
later
lies
on
and
in my
things like
later
that,
years, I'd call it piss taking.
Yeah.
In certain scenarios, especially with yourself,
yes.
which for a long time you did fall for.
He's a good liar, isn't he?
Like,
He's a good
like
liar.
the time when he was in Curry's PC World, and I told him that he'd broken
Right,
a
okay,
£2,500 computer,
So-
and the Indian guy who was looking at him was eyeing him up.
Okay, well, I'll tell this story. We were in Curry's PC World. I can't remember why. It was quite late at night. Not night. It was sort of evening time. But anyway, I was in there, and I rang Luke up, and I was like, "Ooh, look, a Mac," because Luke, if you don't know, really likes Apple. He really likes Apple.
Well, I'm not as obsessed anymore.
Really? Wow.
No,
Yeah, he watched
Not with Tim Cook. Oh, I hate
He
him.
watched the first episode of Mr. Robot and was like,
Oh, yeah, exactly. which we will do a special on one day, a whole
When
Mr.
I
Robot
finish
episode.
it.
Alfie
Give me
is
a
now
month.
watching.
Give me
Are
a
you
month.
watching it now?
I'm watching it. I'm watching it with the olds. Yeah.
Yeah.
They all like it.
Yeah,
that's
that's
I
good.
like it, so I watch it. We just sort of do an episode every day.
Nice. But
I
yeah,
really like it.
it is
Sorry,
good.
carry on.
But yeah, no, I was like, oh, look, a Mac. It was this big iMac, the newest model, and I rang Luke and he was like, oh, let's have a fiddle about with it. I'll show you how to do something really cool and run through what it is because I don't know how it works.
Oh, so basically, I just said go into applications, highlight everything, and then just press Command O, which opens everything, and it makes them crash.
Yeah.
So basically, Ryan does. I was like, right, test the graphics in that, so you can see how well it performs.
Yes.
Anyway, you fucking do it.
I did
This thing starts going. And you're like, what have you done? What have you? And this Indian guy staring at you, going, "What are you doing?"
And yeah, I left the store. I didn't run, as Luke put it. I hung up on Luke, Ollie cackling in the background, and I walked out.
No, you were crying.
I was not
You
crying.
were crying.
I was not crying.
You were having a panic attack though.
I was panicking, but I wasn't crying.
No, you called me back and you're having a panic attack in the car.
I was. I sat in the front seat. I was like, "What have you done? What has happened?" And when we went to Tesco's next, and the whole time when I was walking around Tesco's, I was looking over my shoulder to make sure the Indian guy from Curry's PC World hadn't come for me to come and arrest me. But I came back there the next day with my dad because my dad was like, "Oh, I want to get a new speaker," and I was like, "Fuck, the guy's gonna be waiting for me." I went in there and the computer was working. I was like, "Oh my god, thank God." I mean, Luke at this point had already told me that it was a joke, but I didn't believe him fully that it was completely resolved, as it were. But the Indian guy from the day previously was also there, and he was giving me an eye up because he was like, if you do it again.
Yeah.
But I was lucky. But yeah, that's the Curry's PC World story.
Yeah.
There goes the Curry's sponsor as well.
We are so unbrand for it. No one is ever gonna.
Well, the only brand we've praised is like HMV. We're like, yeah, we'll have the HMV
What's
sponsor.
the other one we praised?
I don't know.
Apple, I guess.
Apple, yeah. But I sort
suppose
of
probably some audio companies we've mentioned. That we
Yeah.
quite like Rode or something.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
I
so
mean, we're all. Well, you're not using a Rode mic.
no, I'm using a Behringer.
You're using Behringer, but we've got a Behringer interface. So,
Yes.
And I don't know what a Meridian Stage Pro.
Meridian.
Meridian.
Yeah.
Like ITV News Meridian. Big up.
That you can't actually find the thing online.
No, I can't. You might. It's just. It's obsolete.
If it dies, then we might be a week without a podcast.
Yeah.
Get a new one. Yeah.
But yeah.
Anyway, I think that could wrap this guy's episode up.
Yeah, yeah. So, in conclusion, next week, Synecdoche, New York film and Air. What was the name of the album? You've forgotten already.
No,
haven't
only
you?
because you've asked me like that.
Okay, well,
Well,
don't worry, we'll pop it up
it was
on
Moon
screen.
Safari.
Now. Moon Safari.
And
Yeah.
New York film.
Synecdoche, New York.
Synecdoche, New York, not synagogue.
Not synagogue. But thank you all for watching. It's been nice to be back. And
Back in the studio, and hopefully we'll see you next week.
we will see you next week.
Bye bye.
Au
Bye
revoir.
bye.